Well, I could have to say that I read book everyone in a while. Everyone is right, especially the classic lore book. Uh, it's helped me to relax and let my hair down. Is that all?
Thank you for that. Here is your feedback on your answer about reading. For your estimated band score, I would place your response at around a 6.5. Regarding fluency and coherence, your ideas were clear, although there were some grammatical inconsistencies and unusual phrasing, particularly when mentioning specific genres. For vocabulary, phrases like unwind and let my hair down are natural, though try to avoid repeating the same phrasing. On grammar, there was an issue when you said could have her to say instead of would have to say, and its help should be it helps. In terms of pronunciation, your speech was clear, but pay attention to clearly articulating word endings to ensure each word is distinct. Here is the corrected natural version of your answer. I would have to say that I read books once in a while. I enjoy reading, especially classic literature, as it helps me to relax and let my hair down. Here is your next question. How often do you travel?
Well, to be honest, I travel one in a blue moon. Well, I am a student and I on a short bread line and very up to my ear in my deadline. I don't have much time to travel. However, sometimes I travel with my family in a summer vacation, and I think that it's a good way for me to let my head out.
Thank you for that response. Here is your feedback on your answer about traveling. For your estimated band score, I would place your response at around a 6.0. Regarding fluency and coherence, your ideas were relevant, although there was some repetition of phrases from your previous answers. For vocabulary, phrases like once in a blue moon and costs an arm and a leg are effective, but try to avoid repeating the same expressions too often. On grammar, there was a small issue when you said a short bread line, as the correct phrasing is strapped for cash. In terms of pronunciation, your speech was clear, but pay attention to clearly articulating word endings to ensure each word is distinct. Here is the corrected natural version of your answer. I would have to say that I try new foods once in a blue moon. I'm a student and strapped for cash, but whenever I hang out with my family, we usually try new foods, which is a good way for us to unwind. Here is your next question. How often do you exercise?
Well, I could have to say that I do exercise every one in a while. You know, um, I get up early and go to a park to do exercise. It's good way for me to keep fit and lead a healthy life.
That was a solid response. For your estimated band score, I would place your answer at around a 6.5. Regarding fluency and coherence, your ideas were clear, although there was a slightly unnatural phrase when you said do exercise all everyone in a while. For vocabulary, phrases like keep fit and lead a healthy life are very natural and accurate. Just try to use every now and then next time. On grammar, there was a small issue when you said go to a park to do exercise, which should be go to the park to do exercise. In terms of pronunciation, your speech was clear, but pay attention to clearly articulating word endings to ensure each word is distinct. Here is the corrected natural version of your answer. I would have to say that I exercise every now and then. I get up early and go to the park to do exercise, which is a good way for me to keep fit and lead a healthy life. Now for your next question. How often do you take photos?
Well, to be honest, I take photos from time to time. I usually take the photo on a special occasion, such as the date holiday or their birthday. And it's a good way for me to uh, to it's good way for me to let my head out. Is that all? I don't know.
That was another clear answer. For your estimated band score, I'd place you at around a 6.0. Regarding fluency and coherence, your ideas were relevant, but try to avoid repeating the same phrase to talk about relaxing. For vocabulary, from time to time and special occasion are good, though be careful with pluralizing words. On grammar, there was a minor point. You can just say take photos instead of take the photo. In terms of pronunciation, your speech was clear, but be careful with clear ending consonants to ensure every word is distinct. Here is the corrected natural version of your answer. I would have to say that I take photos from time to time. I usually take photos on special occasions such as holidays or birthdays, and I find it a great way to capture memories. For your next question, do you often spend time with your friends?
Well, I would have to say that I spend time with my family from time to time. I am a student. I'm really up to my ears in my daily life. So I meet my friend. I seldom miss my friend. However, we meet together on special occasions such as the birthday. It's good way for me to talk anything about my life and let my head out after a long time no see.
That was a good response, but it sounds like you might have accidentally said family instead of friends at the beginning, though you corrected that to talking about friends later. For your estimated band score, I'd place you at around a 6.0. Regarding fluency and coherence, your ideas were clear, although there were some grammatical inconsistencies and awkward phrasing, especially when mentioning special occasions. For vocabulary, special occasions and let my hair down are natural, though try to avoid using the same phrases too often. On grammar, there was a mistake when you said I really up to my ear, which should be I am up to my ears, and we are miss should be we meet. In terms of pronunciation, your speech was clear, but pay attention to clearly articulating word endings to ensure each word is distinct. Here is the corrected natural version of your answer. I would have to say that I spend time with my friends from time to time. I'm a student and really up to my ears in deadlines, so I seldom miss my friends. However, we meet up on special occasions like birthdays, which is a good way to talk about anything in my life and unwind after a long time not seeing them. For your next question, do you often travel?
Next question.
All right, let's move on. Here's your next question. Do you often watch TV?
Well, I would have to say that I watch TV from time to time. I think that I use a smartphone or I use smartphone more because it's convenient for me. Is that all?
Thank you for that response. For your estimated band score, I'd place your response at around a 6.0. Regarding fluency and coherence, your ideas were clear, though be careful about saying use a smartphone more to sound more natural. On grammar, there were no major issues in that short answer. In terms of pronunciation, your speech was clear, but pay attention to clearly articulating word endings to ensure each word is distinct. Here is the corrected natural version of your answer. I would have to say that I watch TV from time to time. I think I use my smartphone more because it's more convenient for me.
Yeah, next question.
Right then, here is your next question. How often do you go to the cinema?
Well, I would have to say that I go to the theater one in a blue moon. I am a student. I on the bright light, I am student, so I on the bright light. And however, sometimes I go to the cinema with my friend at the weekend. It was a way for me to let my head out after a busy period.
Thanks for sharing. For your estimated band score, I would place your response at around a 6.0. Regarding fluency and coherence, your ideas were clear, although there was some repetition of phrases and some grammatical issues. For vocabulary, using once in a blue moon is great, but instead of on the breadline, on a tight budget or strapped for cash would be more natural. Also, that expression is let my hair down, not let my head out. On grammar, there was a small mistake when you said it was way, which should be it is a good way. In terms of pronunciation, your speech was clear, but focus on clearly articulating the endings of your words to make them distinct. Here is the corrected natural version of your answer. I would have to say that I go to the cinema once in a blue moon. I'm a student and on a tight budget, so I don't go often. However, sometimes I go with friends at the weekend, which is a good way to unwind. Are you ready for your next question?
Yeah, next question.
All right, here is your next question. How often do you visit your relatives?
Well, I would have to say that